So a frequently asked question I get from our group members is, hey, I've made money on a referral. What do I do now? So a couple things within the system. One, only the recipient of the referral can close a referral out. And there are three ways that you can close any referral out. And so when you receive a referral, it goes into our active referrals file. Once we do one of these three actions that I'm going to talk about, then it moves it to a closed referral. Now, I'm also going to hit a few other variable scenarios, but once a referral is closed, it can be reopened, and we can add additional revenue to it, and we can edit it. So it never really goes anywhere. It just moves from active to closed. So there are three ways that we can close out revenue. So there's one-time revenue, there's reoccurring revenue, and then there's no revenue. So when we open up our referral, those are our choices there. Now, one-time revenue, example, realtor sells a home. What do we list in there? Well, the realtor's going to list their commission as the closed revenue on it. And the date that they assign it will just be tied to their closing date. Reoccurring revenue. We have a lot of members that have ongoing reoccurring revenue streams. And I'm going to walk through some examples there. And they oftentimes we see it almost always apply to investment advisors, to insurance agents, to CPAs, and really in the banking example I'll give you as well there. So let's say you're an insurance agent. Most of you, when you get a referral, you probably keep that client for 10 plus years. So here's what I recommend. When you go in and add it into the system, set the end date out 10 years. Because a lot of you have a 90% plus retention rate, meaning you remember the people you lose, not necessarily, we don't want you having to go back every year and add revenue. The system will do it for you. So all you need to do is just set, an annual date on it with an end date out 10 years, and every year on that date, it will add the revenue automatically for you. Now I mentioned banking. Oftentimes with bankers, we'll see, hey, we've got an origination fee that occurs at closing. So this allows you within the system to do two things. You can close that referral out with one-time revenue, then you can go and add the reoccurring. So maybe in this instance for banking oftentimes, because a lot of the bankers are salaried with some bonuses tied to it, all you're going to track is what's the interest that the bank makes on this loan. Typically I recommend 5 years. So you have your annual reoccurring. And a lot of times with our commercial lenders within groups, it tends to be if they've got investment properties or things of that nature. So let's just run that out on that kind of 5-to-1 arm in that setting there. The last way that you can track it is, hey, you didn't make the sale. So you just go put a 0 in there. It'll ask you to confirm, and then you close it out. If that opportunity presents itself again down the road, you can go back into that same referral and open it back up. Attorneys, you may bill $2,500 one month, nothing for 4 or 5 months, and then bill another $500 the next month. Once you close the referral, you can just go back and add revenue in an infinite number of times to that original referral. And of course, if you have any questions, please reach out to us. One other final common question that comes up in tracking revenue is COIs, or referral sources. In the meeting, you ask for introductions to estate planning attorneys. As an investment advisor, you get the meeting, the two of you have coffee or lunch or a cocktail together, and then you notice on the referral report it says close it out at $50. We want you to close out the initial meeting because that's a positive. It's a net positive. It's something you asked for with $50. If that estate planning attorney feeds you referral opportunities, you can then track it one of two ways. You can add additional revenue back to the original referral, or you can log it as a spin-off referral and reset it within the system there if you want to track those individually. I recommend keeping it simple and just going back to the original referral and adding revenue. It prevents you having to log a lot of stuff. But the process of having the dialogue in the meeting, some members find that advantageous, and they do that as well. So in closing, 3 ways to close out revenue. You've got one time, you've got reoccurring, or you've got no revenue. But I want to go through some specific examples because those are really common questions that we have almost every single month at a meeting.